Welcome to the bedtime hour.
Oh my, stop.
Hope you guys are doing great today. So a little video just to update you guys on the state of Sharon's health and her diagnosis since being discharged from hospital and having scans. So I know a lot of you guys are concerned. A lot of you guys want to know what's going on with her, what was going on with her health, why she had to go in hospital. So we're going to completely fill you guys in and let you know.
What up?
What up? Yeah.
So I don't know what we said in the first video, whether we mentioned how I ended up in hospital, like with the pains and everything, right? We did, didn't we?
Yeah. So the last video that was actually on this channel, you saw me in hospital, and I did explain that Shazzy was rushed into hospital with like severe abdominal pain in the middle of the night. She was taken away by an ambulance. She was given morphine. So the first thing they kind of thought was internal bleeding, but it was just getting to the bottom of why she was bleeding internally. Yeah. So that's kind of like, that's probably about as much as you guys know. There's been speculations of, you know, cyst, it could be endometriosis, it could be this, it could be that. But that's as far as we got.
Yes. So I think I got discharged, as I was in hospital for about 5 days.
Yeah.
And I only had pain, well, say only, but it was a long time. I had pain for about 12 hours straight. So I was on morphine about every 4 hours. I was sick or vomited twice as well during that time. Do you know what, right? I'm going to have a rant about the NHS. I was going to do a separate video, but I was like, let me just do it now. I didn't see a doctor until they did the handover the next day, which was like at 8:39. Mind you, I got in there at 1 in A&E at 1 a.m. So that was really bad. And even then, yeah, it was just really bad. I was by myself. I was in there like literally crying. And I rarely cry with pain. Even when I was with labor or anything, I don't actually shed tears when I'm in pain. But this, I was literally in so much pain. I was crying. And I was there by myself, and I called you, and I was crying. And it's just like, I was so scared because I was like, if anything was to happen, I'm just here by myself. But yeah, it was just not cool. And I kept asking for the nurses, oh, when's the doctor coming? Oh, I'm in pain. And you just kind of left to just lie there and wait. But you know what? The pain finished. Went to the ward. I was there for about 5 days. And there's another thing as well. They kept taking my bloods. Either my blood would clot or it wouldn't be registered that my bloods were taken. And then it's like my blood's lost. So they have to keep doing bloods again. So, and I was dehydrated. So they kept trying to get, you know, bloods and all of this kind of stuff. And then they did an ECG, and then that ECG was lost. So then when I moved to a different ward, they had to do it again. So they just kept having to repeat these procedures, even though they were already done. So either someone wasn't sending the things, or it wasn't being recorded. I don't know. It was just a mess. And there was even an older lady who couldn't walk, who was in there. So she was bedridden. She was buzzing. The buzz would go on for like 5 to 10 minutes. So I had to then get up and tell the nurses, like, you know, this lady needs help. Every time. There was no time where she buzzed it and someone came. I would have to get up and get somebody. And that's bad. But anyway, back to why I was in the hospital for a little. Sorry about the rant. But
yeah, it's a little 2-minute rant. That's all right. You know, get it off your chest, isn't it?
So with the diagnosis, we kept hearing different things, didn't we? Of what it was. Firstly, they said I had a tear in my abdominal muscle, which is what caused the bleeding. And then the bleeding kind of formed this clot called like hematoma. That's what they said initially.
From the x-rays,
From the x-rays, yeah. And then they kept me in for a bit longer, and then they ordered some CT scans and an x-ray to just verify what they think it is.
So you had to wait for quite a while for the CT scan.
Yeah.
Eventually you got the scan, I think, on a Saturday morning, I believe, or sometime on the Saturday. So there's no specialist doctors that can look at the scan immediately. Yeah, so you then had to wait in hospital until the Monday morning for the results of the CT scan. And obviously that's when the kind of scary part kicked in, when the doctor had a look at CT scan.
Yeah. So then she said, Right. So from looking at your results, this doesn't match what we thought it was. It doesn't look like a hematoma. It doesn't look like a cyst. So we're going to send it to the MDT sarcoma, basically like the cancer specialists clinic, for them to have a look to see what it is.
That's when things got a little bit scary.
That's where, yeah, it got really scary. I was like, I was just trying to keep, because all of this, mind you, I was being told this while I was by myself. He wasn't there because obviously he had the Raya. I was trying to be strong. I was trying to keep a straight face. But as she kept explaining, I then just burst into tears when, hearing like cancer clinic. You're like, oh my gosh, really? Are we here?
It's the one thing, like any kind of health problem you might have, I find like your mind just jumps to that because it's kind of like the worst case scenario. So whatever you worry about, what's going on in your body, you're immediately going to think, damn, have I got cancer?
Yeah.
Doctors normally are able to reassure you and you feel much better, but in this case they weren't reassuring. They were like,
no, we don't know what it is.
We don't know what it is.
I was trying to say, could it be like my hernia that's popped in? Like, could it be fibroid? Could be this? We can't say. We just have to take it to make sure.
Yeah, basically the cancer clinic or ward, however you say it, wants to take a look. So obviously we're scared.
Yeah.
I mean, I say I'm scared. You're obviously, it's way worse for you. But
I was sick. I didn't eat for like 3-4 days. And the thing is, like, we had to wait for 2 weeks to hear back from them, like, about what they think it is.
So sorry, rewind a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry.
So then, obviously, after the doctor said, okay, we need to refer this to the cancer clinic for them to look at, that's what's happening, but you can go home. You're able to go home, but they might not even take a look at this scan. The specialist clinic might not even take a look for 2 weeks, they told us. So you've got, basically what they're saying is you've got 2 weeks of crazy anxiety.
Yeah.
Waiting around to see what the sarcoma, aka cancer specialists, say about the mass in your stomach. Mm-hmm. So I guess fast forward, in fairness, it was less than 2 weeks in the end because we chased it. We chased it up.
I kept calling every day, like after a week.
Yeah. So you didn't quite have to wait for the full 2 weeks. It was probably just over a week and then because we chased it, and finally got hold of the clinic.
Yeah.
Finally got the results.
Yeah, she was like, "Oh yeah, we'll call you." It was like, "We'll call you." Oh no, she said, "Oh no, they do the discussions tomorrow." So this was Monday that we called. So they said, "Call back on Tuesday after 2." Did that. Oh, the nurse is not here. I'll give you a call back. Waited another 2 hours. No call back. Then we called at 4. He called at 4, and then she was able to then explain to us what.
She eventually called you in the end.
Oh yeah, she called me. Yeah, in the end. And yeah, basically, it turns out that it is a hematoma after all.
So exactly the thing that they suggested when they first looked at the X-ray.
Yeah.
But then the doctors went full circle and looked and said, it might not be, you've got to go to the cancer clinic to check. The cancer clinic, the specialists look at it, and it is just the hematoma. Yeah. So I fell on the floor with relief, and I was just so happy to hear that. I mean, it's not good that you've got hematoma, but I was just so happy that it's not
what we were thinking it was.
It's not life-threatening and not what the doctors were almost suggesting it could be. So yeah, it was a big relief and a weight off my mind anyway.
Yeah. But it's still concerning that you've got this thing in your abdominal muscle, you still worry. And the thing is that the way it is, this is a rare case for this to happen because of where it is. It's actually in the abdominal muscle, it's not in a vein. It's kind of like a tissue. So it's a very rare type of thing to happen.
Oh, I didn't realise it was rare.
Yeah, this is rare.
I mean, and also just to clarify, I'm by no means saying this is good. I'm just saying I was relieved that it's not the worst. It's still she still has... I don't know the best way of describing it. It's kind of the blood, like a mass of clotted blood in the muscle tissue.
Yeah.
I mean, you can Google what.
So they said it's like a bruise. That's how she explained it. It's like a bruise internally.
And a bruise sounds better than a blood clot, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
But it's obviously formed this mass. It's like a 5 centimeter mass. But my thing is like, surely if it's a blood clot, surely they should give you blood thinners. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but that's what's going through my mind because I asked them if it's a blood clot, won't it travel?
But I think they said it can't travel because it's even though it's inside your body, it's still external of your vascular system. So it's not a blood clot that is in your veins and will travel through your veins. It's like it's on the surface of the muscle, which is still within your body. That's the way I see it. So I don't think.
But I mean,
I don't think this clotting can go into your veins and. But I don't know.
Like, how do they know that it's definitely in the vein? Like the same way that they got things wrong. How do they know? Because prior to me even getting admitted into the hospital, guys, 2 days before I had gone to my GP to say, I feel this lump in my stomach. Can you check it out? And I'll be having some stomach pains on and off. They felt it. Oh no, there's nothing going on there. It's probably just your diastasis recti. It's probably abdominal separation. I was like, I can feel something. And then 2 days later, that's when I had this pain in the middle of the night. So like, I don't really have that much faith in the doctors right now. So forgive me if I don't. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
One thing I'll say, I think I do have faith in the doctors because,
yes,
and I only say this now, like, don't get me wrong, I feel like you haven't had the best service. From being admitted through to getting the problem diagnosed, it's been stressful.
Yeah.
You haven't had a great service, but the sarcoma clinic, when we're talking to the nurse, I definitely trusted what she said because she said specialist doctors have looked at this scan. They see this thing all the time. There's two specialists in the whole of the city. So you've had the best of the best look at it. And they are very confident of what it is. But it's just been a very long, stressful build up to getting told that you got this, but diagnosing exactly what it is. So I don't know. It's a good thing and it's a bad thing. I'm just relieved that it's not the worst.
Yeah.
No. I'm sure you guys out there are as well.
I am too. I definitely am. But I think like when you've gone that long, just kind of like worrying, just like yeah. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but
No, I get it. Yeah. I've been through it before as well. I've been through tests and stuff. I've got. I don't really talk about this. I don't really talk about this on social media much, but I've actually got a condition, an inflammatory condition, in my back. Oh, here she comes.
Hi.
Just to cut Daddy off. And I had to go for like extensive testing, like MRI scans or MRI scans, X-rays, blood tests, all sorts. Because it's a little bit different from.
And they were trying to tell you, or be careful, my tummy, baby.
Because it's a little bit different from your regular back pain, that's like an injury or what do they call it? Mechanical. They said it's like it's a little bit different. So I had to go for extensive testing, and I was worried. I was paranoid.
And they told you something else that it wasn't initially. Remember that doctor?
Yeah, they kind of had to keep going back because back pain and inflammatory. So inflammation in the joints and regular mechanical back pains are two very different things and difficult to distinguish between the two. So they kept like just putting it down to the fact of just having a bad back because so many people have got bad backs.
And because of your job, they put it down to your job, didn't they?
Yeah,
as well?
And with a history of working in construction and stuff, that would be the obvious answer. So I had to keep persistently going back and saying
it's not right.
But I was kind of like. I was worried as well. I was worried, what are they going to say if it's like, if it's a medical problem as opposed to a mechanical or an injury problem, what are they suggesting is wrong with me? But eventually, it got diagnosed. And once I got diagnosed, I was all right. I was like, okay, I know what it is. I can move on with my life now, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But it's worrying. It can cause a lot of anxiety getting tests.
It does. And then that's the thing, because you have to wait ages till you get another scan as well, which you had to wait.
But you've got to wait ages for the scan, you've got to wait ages for the results. It's just very...
long-winded.
It's long-winded, yeah. That's the problem with, like, it's having the NHS, National Health Service, a health service that's covered under our taxes. It's a blessing and a curse. We get free healthcare, but basically it's covered within our taxes. We pay quite high taxes in the UK, but our healthcare is covered. Blessing, but at the same time, you do not get the most efficient service all the time. Sometimes we have. Like, I've always thanked the NHS for the delivery of our 2 children. But
I don't know about the last one, but
maybe not the last one so much in the end. It's difficult because it's difficult to say. You don't want to say the whole NHS because sometimes you'll get doctors and nurses that are brilliant, caring, efficient. Then it's not all bad, but sometimes there's the odd few that don't make it such a great and efficient service. But you know, I don't want to complain, guys. We're not here to complain. We're just here to be thankful that our Shazzy D here is back in almost full health. Not quite full health, but
I'd have to go back in a few weeks anyway to get another follow-up scan to just make sure that the mass is shrinking. And then if it's shrinking, they're just gonna leave it. If it's not, they have to do a biopsy or something.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check it.
So that's why I'm like, ooh, because obviously you still have to go back to make sure that it is shrinking. So I'm just praying. So that's what you guys can pray for. Like, just pray that this thing just shrinks and goes, so that I don't have to have any surgery or anything done.
Prayers up,
Because
guys.
if not, I'm gonna be coming on here and asking for a GoFundMe so I can go private, because I'm not doing that. Honestly, the waiting is ridiculous. So yeah, please pray that it goes.
I definitely recommend I recommend if you're from the UK and you can afford it, get yourself a private healthcare policy.
100%. Do it before
you
you
never
get
know.
any problems.
Once you start getting problems, they won't take you on a
won't.
policy because we've already tried
Yeah,
that.
because we tried to get, like, after they discharged me, we tried to get booking for, to what's it called?
Bupa.
Yeah, to put ourselves and the whole kids on Bupa and everything, which you still can. But if you want to deal with something that's already been kind of diagnosed, or that you've a long-standing condition, they won't deal with any of that. They only deal with new stuff, new medical problems. So I was a bit gutted that we didn't do that before, but
But you've got to be on it already. So even if you're healthy and you can afford it, get yourself a private healthcare policy.
For two of us and the kids, it came up to 100 for the highest tier. It came up to 193 a month, which is a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, you can get quicker diagnosis, quicker things. And this is not like a plug for Bupa or anything, or any other those things.
Yeah, we're not getting paid by Bupa, guys. I mean, you can pay us if you want Bupa, if you're listening. Like, we're not. Anyway.
But people are saying that the NHS might be privatized soon, so why don't get on the bandwagon soon? But we don't know.
We got almost to the end of the video, and I've just realised that this angle is way better than this angle that I've been holding up for the whole video.
It wasn't like that. It wasn't that bad.
Anyway.
But yeah, guys, if you have ever dealt with, or if you're a doctor and know about, what's it called? Rectal.
Rectal. No, it's not rectal. It's not.
rectal.
It's not in your.
I know, but that's what it's called. Rectus sheath.
Rectus.
Rectus. That's it. Rectus sheath hematoma.
It's hematoma on the lower right abdominal muscle.
Quadrant.
Yeah.
Lower right quadrant of the abdominal. If you're a doctor and you've dealt with this, please let us know, like, what's been happening, or if you've had it, what happened.
Or you guys might want to just Google rectus sheath hematoma just to see what it is, 'cause-
Yeah.
But
and guys, some encouraging words right now would be great.
I'll give you some encouraging words.
Come to bed.
Come to bed with me, and we can talk about it. We can give you a nice massage. Anywho, appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you guys for all of your messages of support.
Honestly, thank you. Yes, we really, 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 really appreciate you guys. Just your kind words, your prayers. It means so much to us. It means so much to us that you guys take your time out to just check up on us, check up on me, pray for our family. We've been through it, haven't we, this past year? It feels like things just coming at us, like one thing after the other sort of thing,
Yeah, there's been a few things.
Yeah.
There's been a few things. Life has been lifing, guys, as we say.
has.
But we're just praying. We're praying for a little bit of a smoother ride now, and onwards and upwards.
Yeah,
Let's
100%.
pray. But anyway, I appreciate you guys for sticking around, listening to what we've got to say. I'm sure you guys were concerned about Sharon. You know, still need your prayers and support for
Yes, definitely.
that this hematoma does resolve itself.
That's it.
But anyway, we'll see you guys in another video very, very soon. Cheers, mate.